In the Greek mythology, there is a king of Cyprus. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Cyprus. I hope you can see now. Cyprus. Okay. So this he was a king and he was also a sculptor. Sculpture means वो लोग जो मूर्तियां नहीं बनाते हैं अपने हाथों से.
Ma'am?
Do you know the meaning of sculpture?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Sculpture is a kind of artist who make. No. Okay. Let me tell you. जो मूर्तियां बनाते हैं. Who artist? 1 second. Okay. Who make figures or objects from stone, wood, and clay. Who make figures, any kind of figure. For example, in Hinduism, we see na god and goddesses.
Yes, ma'am.
So that kind of figures, whoever made is called the sculpture. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
So this king, the king of Cyprus, he was also a sculptor. What he did, he made a, he created a woman. He created a woman. Okay. From ivory. Ivory is kind of a what to say material. That Pathar stone is a stone material. Okay, he made a woman with this stone, ivory stone, and gave the name Galatea. Galatea. Are you understanding anything?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So in the Greek mythology, what exactly happened? This was a king, Cyprus. He is a sculpture first thing. Okay. Sculpture is a person who makes figure from any object. It can be stone, wood, or clay. Okay. From ivory stone, he made a woman and he gave that woman the name called Galatea. Remember this.
Yeah,
Now,
ma'am.
what happened?
Ma'am?
Uh, there is a goddess of love and beauty. Her name is Aphrodite. You will see her name everywhere if you will read Greek mythology. Okay. So
Yeah,
this
ma'am.
guy, king of Cyprus, he prayed to this goddess Aphrodite and asked her to convert her statue, that woman statue, into a real person because he was so much in love with his creation, that woman Galatea. So he wanted to marry Galatea. So that's why he prayed to this Aphrodite goddess, and this goddess fulfilled his desire and made this statue as a human being. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now, in the story, Pygmalion. Pygmalion is a name of this king of Cyprus. Remember that.
Yes, ma'am.
King of Cyprus, real King of Cyprus, real name is Pygmalion. This Pygmalion, who is a sculptor, got married to this Galatea in the story. So this is a Greek myth. It has no reality in itself. Myth means it can be, some people consider it truth, some people consider it false.
Yeah, ma'am.
So this play, now I'm deleting this page. This play which we are dealing with, Pygmalion, the title of this play, Pygmalion, is taken from Greek mythology. Remember this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I will tell you what exactly happened. In the play by G.B. Bernard Shaw, there are some characters. I will tell you the name of those characters first. Write the name of characters.
Yeah, ma'am.
First, Professor Henry Higgins.
Professor. Yes, ma'am.
Professor Henry Higgins. Okay. Second, he's a professor of he's a professor of phonetics. Do you know what is the meaning of phonetics? Phonetics
Mm,
means study of sounds. Phone means sound.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
So this guy, Professor Henry Hicken, he's a professor of phonetics. He's 40 years old guy, old bachelor man. This is the first character in the story.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now the second character. Colonel Pickering. Remember the name? He's a friend of this Professor Henry Hickson. He's a retired officer and the author of spoken Sanskrit.
Yes, ma'am.
That means he's also a uh, person who knows the languages. That means sounds of any language, and he knows the sounds of Sanskrit language. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
these are two main characters in the story. Have you written it? Shall I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now third. Third character name is this going on. Sometimes this happen to my pen all the time. Okay. Eliza Doolittle. She is the second main character of the story. Now, what happened to her? She is uneducated flower girl. Why I'm saying it flower girl? Because she is a girl who used to sell flowers. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Flower girl of about her age is 20 years. She's a third character. Fourth character is Alfred Doolittle. He's Eliza's father. He's a dustman.
Ma'am.
Dustman. Now fifth character. Mrs. Higgins. She's a mother of Professor Henry Higgins. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sixth character, Mrs. Pierce. She's a of housekeeper of Henry Higgins. Sorry. Higgins. Now, seventh character, Mrs. Ansford Hill, a lady of upper middle class. Eighth character, Clara. She is a daughter of Mrs. Ansford Hill. Ninth character, Freddie, son of Mrs. Ansford Hill, who falls in love with Eliza on her first meeting. Now you read all this. Shall I erase?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the character, total nine. Now I will tell you the story. Summary. I will tell you important points I will write. First thing, it's a 5-act play. Second, acts are not divided into scene. And each act marks a stage in Eliza's transformation. Now I will tell you the story. Okay, Act 1. The play opens with heavy late night thunderstorm due to the unexpected rain passer from the various places of London. So, Act 1, setting is London. So, in Act setting is London, write the setting name, okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
Portio. Portio. एक one. Portio of St. Paul's Church in Covent Garden. This is the setting of the Act 1. Okay, so what exactly happened in this Portio, Portico, Portio? The heavy rain and thunderstorm was going on. So there is a flower girl. Her name is obviously Eliza. Uh, in that place, there are few people standing. Flower girl Eliza, Mother, son, and daughter. These mother, son, and daughter name, as I told you, this,
Yeah.
these people. Ennis Fordhill, uh, and the daughter of Ennis Fordhill and son of Ennis Ford. Clara, Freddie, and Mrs. Ennis Fordhill were there. Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
an elderly military gentleman, Pickering. As I told you, he was a retired professor. Pickering was there, and a note taker.
Yeah,
Okay,
ma'am.
these 4 5 people were there in the setting first, Act 1. The note taker, the person who is a note taker, NOTE, note taker. Okay, this person is Henry Higgins, the male, the protagonist of the play, we can say that. Okay, so he has a magic ability. One second. Okay, so this Henry Hicken, he has a magic ability. You know what is the magic ability he has? Whenever he is listening to a person, he after listening to that person's speech, he can able to tell that this person belongs to which place. Hello.
Ma'am?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you listening?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, you said he has a magical ability and
Okay, I will tell you why. He is a phonetician. Phonetician are the people who who are very good at language and sound, particular language and sound. Okay, so this person has a magic ability. He whenever he is listening to anybody, for example, in our India, if we only talk about language Hindi, okay,
mm,
there are different dialects in our Hindi language only. Hindi. There is something called khadi boli. Okay, there is
yeah,
something called normal Hindi language. There's something called Dilli wali Hindi language. There's something called Bihari language. They are the dialects, different dialects of Hindi language. The language is Hindi only. So Bihari people will say HAM hum. दिल्ली वाले दिल्ली वाले लोग बोलते हैं मैं. नॉर्मल लोग भी मैं हम आप ये सब बोलते हैं. खड़ी बोली में थोड़ा और मतलब रूडनेस होता है.
yeah,
So a phonetician who has a command in his language, who knows how to have a command of language, whenever he or she is listening to any person, okay, he can say that this language belongs to that area. This is what I mean to say that he has a magical ability.
yeah.
Okay, so in okay, again come back to Act 1. So in the Act 1, what is going on? These people were standing, rain started, thunderstorm was going on. So two people, Professor Henry Higgins and Pickering, Colonel Pickering. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Colonel Pickering. Okay, these two people wanted to visit each other. मतलब इन दोनों को एक दूसरे से मिलना था. Pickering and Higgins. They both wants to meet each other, and they were planning from very long time that they wants to come and meet each other. Because why they want to meet each other? Because they are the scholars of speech. Because one person is, he is a phonetician of English language, okay, and he is a phonetician of Sanskrit language. So that's why they both wants to meet each other. Professor Henry, then they had started discussing about themselves. In the story, the Professor Henry bets, he made a bets that he can use phonetics to transform the Cockney speaking flower girl. यहाँ पे जो ये है ना हेनरी हिगिन, इसने ना इसको चैलेंज किया. ही वाज लाइक ही इज बेटिंग. बेटिंग वाला सट्टा सट्टा लगाना, गैम्बलिंग वीकेंड से.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he was like, I can change any person's language. So if that person will spend some time with me. So what Pickering said, okay, if you are saying that, then the girl, I told you na, in that
Yeah.
location there was a girl Eliza who was selling flowers. So this
Yes, ma'am.
Pickering, what he did, he was like, okay, you can change the any person's language. So there is a girl called Eliza, that flower girl. We will go and talk to her. We will ask her to come with you, and within 6 months, I want you to transform her. मतलब उसको एक लेडी बना दो, एक अच्छी सी लेडी. अभी तो वो फ्लावर बेचने वाली एक औरत है. शी इज जस्ट अ नॉर्मल फ्लावर सेलिंग वुमेन who
Yes.
have no ability how to speak and present. Obviously, यार मतलब the person who is selling vegetables, flowers, they can only sell. They don't know. See, being an educated person, we considered ourselves like we have to presentable. We have to look presentable. We have to speak presentably. We should have etiquettes, manners. But a person who is selling in the road, will that person will even consider him or herself ki हाँ there should be some etiquette? No, their
Mm.
motive is to earn money, so they are just stick to the earning money. So same with this Aliza girl, she has no proper language according to these two people, Pickering and Higgins. So that's where Pickering said, okay, you are saying that you can change any person, so I want you to change that flower girl.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, now what happened? Why I do this? I should, I'm deleting, 1 second.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now we'll come to, okay, one more thing. Well, remember that he was talking about Cockney. What happened? He was talking about Cockney speaking. Cockney speaking means, Cockney का मतलब है इट्स अ डायलेक्ट. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था ना, हिंदी के बहुत सारे डायलेक्ट है. डायलेक्ट ऑफ लंदन स्पोकन लैंग्वेज by lower class people, by a lower class people. Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So he was like, I will transform this girl, Eliza, okay, and her language, this Cockney language, to a very modern language. That was a challenge he has taken.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this was the end of Act One. End of Act One. Now we'll go to Act Two.
Yes, ma'am.
Now Act Two started next morning. Eliza Doolittle, her full name is Eliza Doolittle, who is a flower girl, appears at Professor Higgins' laboratory. Uh, laboratory is a place where he works. Laboratory at, this is a setting of Act Two. Wimpole, write the name Wimpole
Yeah, ma'am.
Street for speech lesson. This who went to whom? Eliza went to meet Higgins. Okay, she offers to pay a shilling so that she can speak properly enough to work in a flower shop. Why she went to Higgins? Because this Eliza, being a woman, because she was a flower girl. Okay, but she has a
Yes.
dream. She wants to own her shop, flower shop. To and there, because of that, because she was wants to be the owner of the flower shop, she wants to learn English, good English. Okay, so that's why she
Yes.
came to meet Higgins. Now, what happened? Pickering encourages Higgins by saying he would cover the cost of experimental. यहाँ पे Pickering क्या बोलता है? This Pickering, who was challenging Higgins, he was like, whatever the cost you have, you मतलब आपका जितना भी खर्चा होगा, whatever the cost you want, I am ready to give you. You just change this girl Eliza to a modern girl. Okay,
Yes.
modern girl नहीं, he wants Eliza to become a duchess. आपने डचेस का मतलब पता है क्या होता है? वो पहले के जमाने में जो अपर कास्ट के, अपर अपर क्लास, नॉट कास्ट, अपर क्लास के लोग ना अपनी बेटियों को डचेस बनाते थे। मतलब डचेस मतलब कैसे बताऊं कि इट्स काइंड ऑफ स्वयंवर। मतलब वी आर मेकिंग आवर वुमेन इन अ प्रॉपर वे, इन अ प्रेजेंटेबल वे, where our being a daughter of upper class, you know how to sit, stand, speak, you are like very presentable. So he
Yes.
wants to make this Eliza as a duchess, from a flower girl to duchess. This was the end, not end. Now he said, आप उसको duchess बना दो, and we will present this girl to a ambassador, ambassadors, ambassadors garden party. Now this Pickering was like, if you will change this girl, okay, and
Yeah, ma'am.
change will be not change will be judged by these people who will come in this party ना। इस पार्टी में
Yes.
आने वाले जितने भी लोग थे, whoever coming in this party, coming with their girls who are duchess. Okay, and this Pickering was challenging Higgins that if these people, this in this party, whoever will come, will not recognize Eliza as a flower girl, and if you will able to change Eliza to duchess, then I am ready to give you all the cost. You just change this girl. This was a challenge given by Pickering to Higgins.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Higgins was very egoistic man. He accepted the challenge. Okay. And it is decided that इनके बीच में एक चीज हुई, Eliza will live with Higgins for next 6 months. She will be schooled मतलब उसको classes दी जाएगी. She will be schooled in speech and manner of a lady of high class. They wants to make her a lady of high class. Okay, Higgins tells Mr. Pierce, Mrs. Pierce, now and again in the same act, Pierce, Mrs. Pierce, and his housekeeper to bath Eliza and give her new clothes. Now, Alfred Doolittle, यहाँ पे अल्फ्रेड डूलिटल आता है, उसका बाप, एलिजा का बाप, he is a very greedy man. Okay, when he got to know that ki this her daughter is getting trained by this person who is a great phonetician, so to get money from this person, he came to this person's house, Higgins house, and he was
Yes.
like, you have to return my daughter. His real intention was like कि मुझे मेरी बेटी नहीं चाहिए, I don't want my daughter, I just want some money. So his major intention was to take some money from this Higgins, and then you can keep my daughter. So professor gives him £5. In return to that, he take Eliza. He decided with Alfred that I will keep Eliza for 6 months. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Eliza entered Eliza entered after taking bath and all. She was looking clean, pretty in blue dress. Her father fails to recognize her. मतलब उसका बाप भी उसको recognize नहीं कर पाया when she was dressed up like a lady for the first time. This was the end of Act 2. Now Act 3. Higgins trained Eliza to speak and behave properly for months. Okay. Two
Yeah.
trials of Eliza followed. दो trials होने वाले थे. Trial मतलब दो टेस्ट होने वाले थे. The first trial occurs at फर्स्ट ट्रायल कहाँ पे हुआ था? मिसेस हिगिंस हाउस, मतलब हेनरी हिगिंस की मम्मी के घर पे, वेयर एलिजा इज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड टू. यहाँ पे एलिजा मिली थी किससे? शी मेट मिसेस इंसफोल्ड, द सेम लेडी हु वाज देयर इन द एक्ट वन. वो लोग जब बारिश में खड़े थे ना,
Yes, ma'am.
तो यहाँ पे एलिजा इनसे मिलती है, इनकी बेटी क्लारा से भी मिलती है, और इनके बेटे फ्रेडी से भी मिलती है. So Freddie, in the first meeting in the Act One, Freddie did not notice Eliza because she was a flower girl. Okay, so Freddie की first meeting जो Eliza के साथ formally होती है वो Act Third में होती है. And after this meeting only he started loving. I mean, it's not love. We can call it infatuation, attraction. He started attracted toward Eliza. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
in that meeting in the first trial where Higgins house के घर पे Eliza passed. मतलब Eliza made a great impact. She was looking perfect on everyone with her speech and grace. Freddie is attracted towards her, as I told you. After the guest leave, जब सारे के सारे guest चले गए, Mrs. Higgins scolded her son as she is worried that experiment will lead to problems once in end. Mrs. Higgins was like, you should not do these kind of experiments. It can lead you to some kind of problem. And in
Okay.
that act third end, now act four. A second trial of for Eliza take place some months later at ये ambassador वाली party में, ambassador's garden party. Eliza passes off as a duchess. Eliza ने अपने आप को बहुत अच्छे से present किया and she nobody will recognize her as a flower girl and she passes her as a duchess. And Higgins here wins the challenge in the Act 4. एली अब Act 4 में क्या होता है? पिकिंस का और पिकरिंग पिकरिंग और हिगिंस के बीच में जो गैम्बलिंग होती है, जो बेट होती है, उसमें हिगिंस जीत जाता है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स इज व्हाट एलिजा विल डू, because now she's not a same flower girl where she can sell flowers. She became very fluent in English and all, and obviously she was staying for 6 months with this Higgins. Now she has no house also. Even if she will come back, where she will stay? Because her life is changed now. So
Yes, ma'am.
Eliza get hurts because Higgins and Pickering didn't care about her. She asked is to be what she became now. Eliza was very angry. She throws slipper on Professor Henry Higgins and asked him, what should I do now? Higgins suggested her, you should go and open a flower shop. And Higgins here was accusing Eliza back. He was accusing back to Eliza for his ingrateful nature. He was like, you should be grateful that I taught you English. I kept you in my house for 6 months. And what in return, what you are doing with me? You are throwing a slipper on me. So
Mm.
Eliza says no one has treated her so badly like Higgins treated her and she departs. So देखो, जो मैंने आपको स्टोरी बताई थी ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी में, वहां पे वो जो पिगमेलियन था, वो बंदा अपने वो जो पिगमेलियन मैरिड टू दैट क्रिएशन गैलेलिया, क्या नाम था उसका, गैलिट्रिया. हियर इन दिस स्टोरी, our Pygmalion story. Here, this Higgin, he was not attracted towards Eliza and all. He doesn't want to marry Eliza. So the story is changing here. Okay, remember that. In this way, this act finished. Now in Act Fifth, The next morning, Higgins rushes to his mother with Pickering as Eliza ran away. वो गुस्से में चली गई थी. They are interrupted by Alfred Doolittle. हाँ, because Alfred Doolittle was became happy rich person now, but he was not happy because he trusted a millionaire who died and he got a loss in his business. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
and Mrs. Higgins have been hiding Eliza. Here everybody thinking that Higgins ने उसको वो गुस्से में निकल गई थी ना, Eliza, and Eliza was staying with Mrs. Higgins without the knowledge of Henry Higgins or Pickering's. Okay, and Eliza enters the room one day after few months. Next morning only, sorry, next morning only when Eliza entered the room, she thanks Pickering, the another character, for always treating her like a lady. Eliza tells Higgins, यहाँ पे इस बंदे को बोलती है, that Freddie has writing love letter to her and now she is ready to marry that guy Freddie. That Mrs. क्या नाम था उनका, उनका बेटा, क्लारा का भाई. Okay, so she is like, I am ready to marry Freddie now. As Eliza leaves, Higgins shouts out a few errands on her. He was like, okay, just keep some money and just get lost. I don't want to see your face again. So we have no idea whether Eliza and Freddie married in the play or not. That we didn't see in the play, ending of the play. The play ends with Higgins laughing loudly as he say to his mother, she will marry Freddie. So यहाँ पे हमने ये देखा है कि play के last में क्या होता है कि Higgins was he was laughing. It can be like sometimes when we feel so much pain or we are not expecting somebody to do something, so when our expectations hurts, we don't know how to react. So in this play also, Higgins was very shocked and surprised when he heard Eliza that she's going to marry Freddie. In that way, the play ends. Uh, do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll, because I have less time. Now I don't know whether I will start Doll's House or not. Okay. Now let's go to the themes of the play. First is language and speech. It is a play about English speech, as I told you. The play is built around the professional life of Higgins as a phonetician. He was a phonetician, professional phonetician, and his ability to convert a flower girl into duchess by giving her a new speech. इसमें क्या दिखाया गया है इस पूरे प्ले में कि language play a very important role in the society. If a person who, see, everybody knows language, but how you are, language is like power for any person. Okay, how you're using your power, your language for communicating with other, that matters. The play affirms that GB Shaw views speech is the only way by dividing class. Even in this play we will see that there are two types of classes, upper class, I don't know what happened to this pen always, upper class and lower class. Okay. In the lower class, we see Eliza, who turned herself to the upper class, by converting her speech. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So this is the first theme. Remember that.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the second theme is appearance and identity. In everybody's life, whenever appearance, how we present ourselves, appearance, what kind of clothes we wear, appearance and identity, what we are. First thing, identity, remember that identity cannot be changed. हम किस घर में पैदा हुए हैं, we are born in which family, our economic status, that all depend on our identity, whether which we belongs to which religion, caste, creed, color.
Yes, ma'am.
We cannot change that. Identity will not change. Appearance we can change. Appearance means clothes, the way we speak, the way we sit, the way we present ourselves. Appearance can change. So in this play, you can see that these two are the main setting. The play explores how social identity is formed, not only through speech, but also through one physical appearance. It signifies one social class. Your dress, your clothes signifies which class you belong to, whether you are upper class or lower class. So when Eliza was a flower girl, she has a different clothes. And when she first time came to Higgins house and she took a bath and then she came out from the room, even her father, Alfred Doolittle, he was failed to recognize Eliza, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
that is why appearance of the clothes also matters according to display. Now third, social class and manner. The play shows how the belief that one social class and manners are connected is false. As Ali, see here, the class is very false thing because we see Eliza as a lower class, right? Then she
Yes,
changed herself just by changing her language. She became the upper class. So the transformation of her shows manners and nobility. We can see the transformation of the an appearance in this play, manners and all. So this is all about the play called Pygmalion. Do you have any questions regarding this play?
no, ma'am.
Okay, I will start a bit about this Henry Ibsen. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
first remember that after romantic period, again I will revise you. What happened to this all the time? आधा टाइम मेरा ये पेन को यूज करने में निकल जाता है. God. Okay, after romantic period, the period called realism came, as I explained to you. Okay, so
Yes,
in the realism period, what is going on? Rapid industrialization. I told you. Okay, with that realism के टाइम पे पता है क्या क्या आया था? Origin of Species, एक बुक लिखी गई थी, Origin of Species, Species. This was written by Charles Darwin, Char Darwin, Charles Darwin. Okay, romantic period was a period of Wordsworth, Coleridge, all those writers who are lake poet and who usually write about nature. Okay, so people were like fed up by reading this romantic thing. So now the because romantic period was a period of less science or less industrialization. Then the realism came. Realism period came in modern times. In the realism we see rapid industrialization. There was a book written in that time. Okay, I will tell you the timeline also. Wait. 1789, French Revolution happened. 1848 was a period of great changes. क्योंकि इंग्लैंड में क्या क्या आ रहा था? लिबरलिज्म आ रहा था. England was going through with democratic nature. Okay, and a country wants to be like liberal, democratic, free from uh, superstition, religion or superstition. People were like fed up by looking the place which was based on upper class. So that's why the realism came. And
ma'am.
the
Really,
yeah,
ma'am.
even yeah, tell me.
Yeah, ma'am. Last point, ma'am. Free from religion and
Religion and मैंने क्या बोला था? I don't even remember what I said. Okay, free from religion and superstition.
yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yeah.
As I told you, classical drama deals with upper class people, right? We will
Yes.
see king and queens in classical drama. In the modern drama, we are dealing with modern people, normal people. Okay, so modern drama first example is Pygmalion, where we see a flower girl named Eliza
Yes.
converted herself to upper class duchess. Okay, now in the second play, the Doll's House, which we will study in the next class because time is up. Doll's House. In this Doll's House also, you will see the protagonist Nora, how she challenges society and leave her husband and children's at the end. I will tell you the story in the next class. Till that
Yes.
time, you just revise all the things which I explained in this week. Okay,
Sure.
go through with Macbeth, make notes. See, I am not explaining so much in the class. Even I'm trying a lot because I have only 1 hour class. So you have to
Yeah.
read everything, origin and forms of drama. Please go to Google, YouTube, read it, elements of drama, Renaissance to restoration, how this change happened, brief history. Just go through with a small history. This will not come as a questions. Okay, but
Yes.
you will find questions from Macbeth, the rivals, Richard B. Shedden, and obviously Pygmalion. And
Yeah,
next
ma'am.
class, I will finish two drama. I will try to finish two drama: A Doll's House and The Death of a Salesman. There are so many things here. I don't know whether in two classes I will deal with it or not. Okay, I will try my best. You also just read as much as possible.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm going through the textbook, ma'am.
Very good. And just take the help of YouTube. I'm telling you, in YouTube, you will find so many things. And YouTube is
Yes.
the easiest way to understand anything, any play or any drama.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for listening. You are the only person who is taking my class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank,
much. Have a good day and good
thank you,
weekend. We'll meet next week. Okay.
ma'am.
Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.